He doesn't listen to me. He's very dodgy. When you want to ask him something, he's aggressive, he shouts. It is because manner of communication is whack, it's wrong, it's completely out of place, right? Hi guys, welcome to Life with Queenette. If this is the first time you're coming to my channel, I want to say welcome. So please do subscribe, do tap the notification button so you'll be the first to know once I upload a new video, and please like and give thumbs up to this video. Thank you so very much. All right, so if you're a returning subscriber, I do not take you for granted, and I want to say thank you guys for being the ones that rock my boats. Okay. So today I actually want us to talk about how to communicate effectively in your relationships. That's a very sensitive one, don't you think so? So let's dive right into it. You know, what I tell people is communication is different. The sending and the receiving of information, of this, of that, okay? And at this point, you're not expecting anything, you just give information and then you walk away, all right? Effective communication is a little bit different from that. Effective communication is a process, the processes of exchanging opinions, thoughts, ideas, knowledge, in order for the message to be received, to be properly received in clarity and in purpose. And when it is properly received, there's likely to be a feedback. Okay, so there is no effective communication without a feedback. You cannot just talk and talk and talk and there's no feedback. If there's no feedback, there is no effective communication. Okay, so just not to waste much of your time, let's look at the first one. The first is learn to disagree, not to dismiss. You know, this is so important because most people think, oh, I was hurt. Oh, I was one that said, let's sit down and talk. He never talks about it. I was one who started this, that. So, no, my dear. Okay? So when you want to communicate in a way that the person will receive what you have said, the message that you have given out, and receive it, understand it, can process it, and then give you back a response. That's what we mean by feedback. Then you would have communicated effectively. So, like I said, learn to disagree, not to dismiss. You cannot be in a relationship and you want to communicate to someone, and probably you ask a question or something and the person said something. Probably what he said it doesn't sit well with you, or it's not what you're talking about, or what you feel what he's saying is useless, you know, and then you try to dismiss it. Let me tell you, it is disrespectful for you to do that. And also, the dangers of dismissing what someone is saying is that the person becomes defensive, the person becomes aggressive, the person comes for battle of words, the person comes for a fight. He's ready to disagree with everything, and at the end of the day, you wouldn't have achieved anything. He walks away. Okay? So, is that what you intend to achieve? I know the answer is no. So if you intend to achieve that understanding, sending your message clearly and in a way that the person will give you feedback, that means you must learn to, in a subtle way, disagree but never dismiss someone's idea. Okay? You can't say, well, that's not what I'm talking about. I don't agree with you. What you're saying is not true. Hey, oh. And then at the end of the day, you want the person to come and be listening to your junk. It's not possible. Okay? Because the person can say, I don't care what you're saying, I'm not listening to you, what you're saying does not make sense. And you would have ended up destroying what you intend to achieve. Nobody likes to be dismissed. Nobody, including you watching this video. Nobody likes to be dismissed. Okay? So if you want to effectively communicate to your partner, to your spouse, to your boss, it means that you'll be willing to listen, accept what they had said, say, well, what you said is true, I agree with you to some extent. However, you come in with your own angle, because you're not a monopoly of knowledge. Someone is thinking this way, you are thinking the other way. It is not the time for you to say, no, I don't agree with you, what you're saying. The person will say, okay, becomes defensive. So what are you talking about? Okay, you don't want to listen to me. If you are in a relation, and I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. so what are you talking about? At the end of the day, you will not have achieved anything. The other person ends up, but there's a way you do it. Even the person to wriggle out from that net will be very, very difficult. Okay? So learn to disagree with people, but never dismiss whatever they are trying to say. The second one is that you must listen to understand, not to give a rebuttal. Listen to understand. And how do you listen to understand? You must listen actively. Don't be a passive listener. Let's say let's use the woman now. You are cooking in the kitchen. I want to have a discussion with your husband, and you turn your soup, you come out and say, what did you say? So you say, what did you say? You're not listening. You will not achieve anything. Okay? Because that thing is not yet serious. If it's a serious issue, if it's a serious matter, you will have to sit down, make out time to discuss with that person when you're free. You can't be turning soup and be asking and be going back to the kitchen and be doing no. So you must listen actively. Why do you have to listen actively? So that by the time the person is done talking, you will not find yourself mixing up things, and then the person will hide under the guise of, oh, that was not what I said, that was not how I said it, you're saying a different thing. And once that starts, you would have lost it. You had lost that. You've not been able to communicate effectively. That is the truth. So what do? You make sure you listen actively. Okay? Some of us have husbands who are very, very smart and intelligent, I must tell you. So if you don't listen to them, what was the first thing he said? How did he say it? What was the second thing he said? You must be able to match up that energy when you're responding. That is the only time you will get the feedback that you are expecting. So you take your time. He's talking in your brain. You're not writing it in your brain. Okay, number one, he said. Number two, he said this. Number three. You will see that by the time you're studying, he will say, no, that was not what I said. You will say, that's exactly what you said. You're not mixing things up because you listened attentively. So you must listen to understand them and not to hit the person back. That's the second one. The third one is that you must be open and honest. Very open and honest. They say truth hits badly. Okay? Let me just give you a common example. Maybe your husband was a little bit aggressive, or he said something to someone, or he was hurtful, he behaved in a haughty manner. Don't be the one, when others are saying, yeah, what you did was right, you be the one to also encourage him and say, don't mind that man, he was stupid, he was this. That attitude will get to you because you're the next in line. Being that one person that he knows, that can look at him in the eyes and tell him the hard truth. Let me tell you, as you grow in that relationship, you will come to that place where you say, if it's this person, he's going to speed it. Once he says, no, you were right, I know I'm right. Once he said, no, you didn't get it right, I know I'm wrong. Okay? One of the things that we must learn to do in relationship is to be very honest. Lies destroy relationship. They destroy trust. Once you tell one lie, you're looking for another lie to put up. You're looking for another lie to close the former lie, and then you're looking for another lie, and I mean, it doesn't make sense. At some point, it becomes very messy. And then you can imagine where your partner, whoever it is you have a thing with, finds out that, oh, this person is highly unreliable. This person is not somebody I can completely rely on. Okay, this person is busy telling all the lies. It doesn't make sense. And once it's there, you can never communicate to such a person effectively. What is he going to give you? What's the answer? He will feel that all you're saying is still one and the same thing you are known for. All right, so that's the third one. The fourth one is, don't make the conversation all about you. No. In fact, if you ask me, it's important that when you want to have conversation, whether you're a man or a woman, a boy or a girl, you want to have a conversation with someone who you think you are an item, all right, with, or your spouse, or whoever you think you have something going on with. It's important that you find out first and foremost what the person thinks about you. What do you think about me? Are there things that I'm not getting right? Are there things you think I can change? Are there ways I can improve? Are there things I actually do that put you on your toes? You ask questions. But that doesn't mean you don't know where you're going to. Do you know what you're doing at that point? You're making the person believe that I also care about how you feel about me. That you're not talking does not mean you are either not, you are uncomfortable, in some way with me. That's what you're saying. Then you see the person opening up, yeah, I don't like the fact that you do this. I don't like, for the ones that want to be open, some will still say, yeah, no. If the person says no, that's good. But then you come in and say, okay, we want this relationship to work. We want to get a perfect one and all that. And I think that's, for me, this is where I don't like the things you do and all that. You see the person opening up to you. The person telling you, oh, I'm sorry about it. If they want, oh, I apologize. But don't be the one that will make the conversation all about you. When it's all about you, it is not effective. Because the person will feel, oh, you're selfish. You're just talking about you. Have you asked me how I feel? Sometimes some people ask you, you're just talking about you. Have you asked me how I feel about this whole thing? So that is another one. The fifth one is that you must make the environment warm. There is no place. It's not possible for you to have an effective communication when the spoons are flying up, when everybody is shouting, some are yelling, some are jumping, the hands are going up, the legs are going up, everybody is, everything is in disarray, and then you say you're having this person is talking on this side, so no, it's not possible. Does it mean that we don't rant? We rant. There are exceptional situations where, sitting down does not make it, it doesn't drive home the whole thing. Probably you've been doing sitting down, and it's not, and then you let it out. Okay? You shout, you rant, you talk. We all do that. It doesn't stop anything. The person knows that my wife is not this way. For her to get to this point, it means that, it's choking. All right? But if you haven't gotten to that point, please don't make the discussion all about you, and do it in an environment that is very conducive. You ask somebody a question without raising your voice, without shouting, without having battle of words and all that. The person will tend to listen more. I know there are couples who talk while they're about sleeping. They just have this kind of conversation, and then they bare their minds and all, and that's it. So find out when it works for you, when you can communicate effectively, and the other person will hear you, listen to you, and then give you a feedback, because that feedback is very, very important. Should be the last one. The last one is please, while you are listening to whoever you're in relationship with, make sure that you are also, outside of what they are saying, you are watching their body language. Their body language can help you streamline what you're saying better. If their body language is such that they're not just in that best of mood to start talking about what, let it go at the point. Not that you wouldn't bring it back. If their body language is saying otherwise, know that something is not right. If you're talking and they want to respond and a whole lot of things, because let me tell you, most times our body language speaks louder than what we say. The words can come freely, can flow. For people, a lot of people tell wrong, right? So it will just flow. But look at the person's body. The body language of that person is likely to give that person away. All right. So this is where we're going to stop this video for today, and I'm sure you took one or two things out of it. Remember that for you to communicate effectively, there has to be a positive feedback coming from the receiver, who must have interpreted and understood exactly what you are saying, and then articulated the best and perfect response to give you. All right. So let's do it. Let's live a beautiful life. Let's enjoy ourselves. Let's hold our partners also accountable for the things that they do. All right. So this is still me, Life with Peanut, saying bye for now.